Okay. So these two are not a threat yet because they are nowhere near the objective and being able to attack it because they need direct fire. I don't, yeah, he doesn't have LRMs, he doesn't have LRMs. So if they don't have direct line of sight, they cannot attack. So we're okay there. I think we retreat with the Enforcer. It's done what we needed it to do, and getting it shot up is just not going to be a good idea. So I don't want to have them get my back, so I'm going to try and prevent that. But we're going to go ahead and go after the Shadowhawk here. Now, in theory, the Griffin could get my back, but there's not a whole lot I can do about that. We're just going to have to try and kill it with the other mechs.
Firing jump jets.
Okay, we're going to turn off the large laser, probably. Yeah, that'll do. It's pretty... it heats me up pretty good, so in theory, if we get lucky here and get some center torso hits...
Firing.
Might get a kill? No, not today.
Inflicted some heavy damage.
Okay. Here comes the Blackjack, which still doesn't have line of sight.
Reporting.
Go ahead and just back up and just keep smacking this Griffin.
Wilco.
Right now, it's kind of a threat to me, so we have to deal with it. I will use the Precision Strike just to try and limit what it can do. We'll go right torso. I'm still trying to take out that weapon system. Fortunately, the laser missed. This guy has no armor whatsoever now.
Heavy damage.
Here comes the Shadowhawk. Okay. Of course, they're continuing to get beat up. We should have these two pretty soon, though. At least I'd hope so. Hatchetman.
Commander.
Move in, attack. Griffin. Griffin probably will not survive this. Hatchetman doesn't do a lot of damage, but this guy doesn't have a lot of health, so
Giving him everything I've got.
that might do it right there. Yeah. Goodbye. So just the Shadowhawk of the ones that are nearby, and then we have these lighter mechs to deal with. I don't know if I have enough damage potential on this turn to take out the Shadowhawk, but the Shadowhawk has almost no armor itself. Center torso is pretty beat up. Oh, thank you for the follow. Yeah, it only has 17 health, so if we can get alright accuracy here. I don't think we blow any of these things. Yeah. That might do it? Or not.
Enemy mech.
What does he got now? 5 health? Here comes the Warhammer.
Give him everything
Still a
you've
long
got.
way off of actually being able to do a whole lot. Now, I don't know what these light mechs do if they can't see me. They might go in for the buildings now. No, it did nothing. But it has established a line of sight. I mean, it doesn't really matter if they can't get a direct vision. But, you know, with a tall building like this, who knows how that works. Okay.
Orders.
Well, honestly, I think
Awaiting
Legend take
orders.
this attack. We kind of want to pull her off the front line. It is her left arm, so we just keep that left arm away from the enemy and try and finish the Shadowhawk here.
Moving
She has a
to
fairly good
position.
chance of doing that. Yeah, be nice if that was the case. Okay, we can get away with that. I have a feeling, yeah, we're down to 13 health. This should be it.
Locking on.
Oh, come on. There you go. Kill everything. Kill every part on that mech until there's no parts left. Then it's dead. That was probably a side attack, so honestly, probably not the best kind of attack to do. Okay, in this case, we wait for the Warhammer to go, and then we take action. The Locust hasn't really moved. Jenner is going to be too hard to hit. So we go after the Locust, I think, in this case.
Standing by.
Ready for orders.
want to get that small laser in there. I don't care if we're running hot. I'm afraid of stray shots hitting the buildings, so I'm going to be conservative with my shooting. I'm not going to fire at that Jenner, even though I normally would. We're just going to open up here. I can't use the large laser, but I can fire everything else. I was going to use Vigilance, I think. Not be necessary, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Locked on.
Like that. I took out a leg.
Target's taking a critical hit.
Struck by lightning. That would be interesting. Okay.
Standing by.
We're just going to take a poke at the Jenner.
Location confirmed.
Very unlikely to hit, but hey, we can burn down some evasion. Not that it matters. It's going to beat me to initiative anyway. So I'm not even sure why I did that. We are way much better off just cooling off. Like, definitely. So I'm just going to walk forward and brace, and we're not going to do anything this turn.
Hit him hard.
All right, Jenner's coming back. Just going to open up on the Hatchman, which is okay. I'm fine with that. I mean, we don't really want the Hatchman to take that kind of damage, but... Okay. Leo is going to...
Standing by.
move back. Because again, I don't want this Warhammer opening up on me. Warhammers can do a lot of damage. They have to do it at fairly close range, but still frightening. Okay, we can't get away with the two. Just gonna have to do this attack. This will burn some evasion, so it's not a wasted attack by any means. Hey, it hit a little bit. Comes the Locust 1S, which just got up and is limping over there and doing nothing.
Ready.
Blackjack may be able to get in vision next turn, or this turn. Go ahead and walk up here, actually.
Receiving you.
I'm gonna use Legend to burn down some of this guy's evasion. Let's actually use the medium lasers that have better accuracy. Okay, that'll do. Use Precision Strike here. I mean, this is still a lot of damage. Yeah, center torso it. We hit with significant damage there. Well, we didn't, but if we had... Almost have him knocked down too, which we will get a knockdown if that AC 10 lands, so... Alright, Blackjack did not move in range. Alright, we're looking at 2 rounds. We're not likely going to be able to kill the other 2 enemy, but we can at least grab their attention, perhaps. I mean, we could maybe kill the Locust, but...
I copy.
Alright, I think in this case, this is a good call for a Precision Strike, so we can get nice accuracy, go center torso. This is probably a dead mech at this point. Yeah, goodbye. Alright, just 3 targets left, but again, we don't have the time to kill the other 2. As much as a Warhammer would be great from a salvage standpoint, I cannot really pull that off. So... If I jump here, do I get small lasers? Ah, yeah. Alright, cool. Let's just finish the Locust off. That's the important thing.
All weapons committed.
And that should be a dead Locust. So the question is, can the Blackjack get vision next turn? I think not. Especially with the way it took. Not sure. Oh. Kind of forgot that the Warhammer hadn't gone yet. Well, His half armor. I don't think we kill that, though. I mean, Warhammers don't have a lot of armor. It's one of their main weaknesses. But it's a heavy mech, so it should still be able to take a beating despite that armor, or lack thereof. So... I'm also running too hot, I think, to pull it off. Let's go ahead and let the Blackjack do its thing. Then we'll make a judgment
Holding
call.
for the right opportunity.
Yeah, it's not getting there. It's going too roundabout of a path. The Warhammer maybe gets to here. I mean, it's not the fastest mech. It's not super slow for its weight, but it's not fast either. So I'm just going to jump away. I don't have a follow-up either. Too many of my mechs are too far away. So there comes the Warhammer. And... oh, it did get in there. Well, it's got 2 PBCs, but it attacked the target that it's not going to be able to take down.
Yes, Commander.
Alright, we'll do some damage here. What the hell? It's going to be the last round anyway, so...
Roger.
we'll see what we can achieve. Yeah. Fortunately, not going to be a lot of damage here.
Target acquired. Waiting for orders.
You know, maybe I should have tried this, because now that I'm looking at it, it actually looks pretty doable. I still don't think we're going to get it done.
Target's taking a critical hit.
Because Legend would have to get in and get an attack, and that's not going to happen. So, yeah, we're done. Oops. Ah!
Receiving
I
you.
want to do this. There we go. That's the last of them, Commander. Not really, but alright. Nicely done. This deployment has proven to be an excellent test for our new Battlemech's combat abilities. And, boss, moving forward, let's keep our eyes open for another Hatchman or 3. I can think of so many things I could do with a chassis like that.
Mission successful.
Alright. You unfortunately don't get a Hatchman from this mission, but we got a Trebuchet. That works. I don't know what salvage we're going to get here. We'll see in a second. We got another 30% bonus. We do have damage on 2 of our mechs. This one isn't ours, so it doesn't really matter. But 2 of our mechs are going to need repairs. They're going to be minor repairs, so it's only going to knock them out for a day. So this is going to be the thing that really matters. Unfortunately, these are all mechs that we don't really have parts for. We have 2 parts of a Trebuchet. I already have 1 Trebuchet, so that's not really that high of a priority for me. I'd either take the Shadowhawk or the Griffin, but other than that, we're a ways away. So let's take both. Why not? Well, let's first check to make sure there's no special weapon systems. LRM-15 with extra damage, that's going to be taken, no doubt about it. Especially as it's +2 damage. That's actually a lot of damage. So we have to take that. I cannot not have that. So we're going to go with the Griffin 1S. It's probably debatable. The Shadowhawk is probably the better mech. But well. Melee mechs are useless if you can't use a ship for a sword. I mean, I personally... I think firepower in most cases, using your weapons, is always going to give you the most damage. There are instances where melee attacks are more useful, especially against lighter targets or vehicles, but in most cases, I'd rather just have weapons do the work. Okay. We managed to get a Cicada part, which is not really what I would want, but oh well. We got the important thing, which is the +2 damage LRM-15. I cannot stress enough how good this is. Normally, a LRM-15 only does 60 damage. This is going to do 90 damage. That is an increase of 50%. So that is really good. He was really excited about the movie having a mech using a ship for a sword. Oh, the Pacific Rim. Okay. I gotcha. I don't remember that. Was that the first Pacific Rim? I only watched the first one, and I don't remember that part. Sure, it happened, but it's been a long time since I've seen that movie. And I know this is going to sound like heresy, but I didn't like that movie. All right, Joint Venture 2. Well done, Commander Gunner. Very well done indeed. And the Hatchetmen proved its worth admirably as well. I'm looking at telemetry from its combat computers now. The luminaries at the New Avalon Institute of Science will be pleased. That's not a word you often see. Luminaries. Sounds pretty. It's a hell of a machine. Wouldn't mind getting my hands on one of our own. For sure is the first one. Oh, it was in the trailer. All right. Is the sync off? It could be. I don't. Somebody else give me an opinion on that. It might just need refreshing your browser, but someone else feels like the sync. If you're talking about my mouth, I assume. If the sync is off, let me know. All right. In due time, perhaps you may. I can make your I can make you no promises, of course, but I would very much enjoy if such a mech were in the hands, or to find its way into the Argo. Stranger things have happened. All right, let's see what people. Leo says it looks fine. Oh, Bajarabi is the one that said that. I got confused because Theophy and Bajarabi, you both have the same color name on my end. Okay, thank you for confirming. So yeah, if you see something like that, it's probably on your end, so I just do a quick refresh. It probably will fix it. Okay, where were we? Yeah, so you'd like it if there was one in the Argo. Stranger things have happened. Well, I'll be looking forward to the day that happens, Graf. Stieglitz Bradford. Turning to source, refreshing, or pausing, unpausing. Yeah, try those things and let me know, Bajarabi, if that is still a problem. Well, I don't know. If it's not, if it's still a problem for you, I don't know what else I can do, but we can try and help you. Aye, Commander, that we will. Until then, I bid you good hunting and a very fond farewell. Your job here is done. Okay, he's gone. Bet you 100 C-bills that Stieglitz Bradford wanted House Liao's troops to attack us at that base. It gave him a ready-made excuse to test his hatchetmen against a bunch of live targets. Sounds like the kind of thing he'd do. But you know what? I don't care. At the end of the day, we got paid for our efforts and our client walked away happy. It's about the best resolution a company like ours could ask for, regardless of the Graf's underlying motives. Damn right, Meyer. We did good on this one, so let's try not to overthink it. Back to your stations, everyone. Let's find some more trouble to get ourselves into. Yay! That's always what we're here for. All right, let's see what we got. Open up the loot box. Ooh, all right. So we got a gyro plus 2 hit defense. It is what it is. I honestly don't know how much effectiveness these have. The Orion part is nice, although we only get one of them. A couple dragon parts, so we're one away from getting a dragon. That'd be a nice addition. Firestarter, always like those. Cockpit mod, very nice. Medium laser with extra crit chance, not really too much of a chance. Yeah, that is what it is. Self damage, usually don't use these because they take up tonnage. Another hit defense gyro, and another M10 was pushed to 25% crit chance. So, of the bunch, cockpit mod is welcome, and the dragon, we almost got a full dragon, so that's nice. All right. So we got a lot of reputation. You guys can't see it, but I'll just tell you, it's plus 26 reputation with the House Steiner. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. So let's continue. Whereas in Transformers, I was expecting a big robots duking it out, and instead I had to watch boring humans get in the way of the shooting. Well, wasn't that the same problem with those Godzilla, the more recent Godzilla movies? That it was more people than monsters. Although I guess that's kind of always been a thing with Godzilla, that the people were always a part of it. But from what I understand, the first one they did, the first, I'm not talking about the one with what's his face from wow, Ferris Bueller's Day Out, whatever that guy's name is. Not the first American Godzilla, but the newer ones. Apparently there was a thing where there was just way. I didn't watch them, so I don't know. But I heard there was a lot of peoples. That's good. I expected a Michael Bay movie, except I got a bad Michael Bay movie. Well, isn't that all Michael Bay movies? I honestly, you guys would have to run through the Michael Bay movies. I don't think I've ever seen a Michael Bay movie I liked. I never watched his very earliest movies, but I didn't like Independence Day. The newest one with Walter White. Which one is that? The Rock. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, Leo, that one was good, or decent enough. Let's put it that way. It was decent enough for a Michael Bay movie. The Rock. Yeah, I agree with that one. You get Sean Connery, you get Nicolas Cage. What else could you ask for? I don't remember who else is in that because honestly, it's been a long time since I've seen it. But I remember it not being bad. I mean, it was ludicrous, but I mean, it's still fun. Okay. So, first things first. Well, I don't know. Has Nicolas Cage gotten out of his bankruptcy anymore? Is he as easy to get signed on? Just repair these two. Okay, fairly easy repairs. Let's see what contracts we have, and we'll see what we want to do here. I think this was a 2.5 skull location. Well, the question is, what missions are we getting? So recovery mission, target acquisition. We're not going to do that. These are garbage missions. I would rather not. Capture base. That one might be okay. Battle on tundra. Oh, this is in desert. That one might be okay. At least we'd be able to open up and not worry about its heat as much. And then an assassinate. This is too difficult for us, I think. 3.5 skulls is a little bit beyond us. I might be okay with doing a 3 skull mission if it's a battle in tundra. Now, we might be overwhelmed again. That could be a problem. Almost certainly a bait for a trap. We'd like to spring this trap. Okay, so that we could be outnumbered. That might be bad. Okay. Well, hopefully it's good. Thiefy was saying that next Cage movie will be Color of Space, a Lovecraftian movie. Yeah, we'll see how that turns out. I always thought that Nicolas Cage should have stuck with comedic and dramatic roles rather than being an action star like he ended up being. I think that was a mistake for him. I think he's better in those roles. So hopefully he does really well in this Lovecraftian movie. I don't know what they're going for, but probably thriller, I would guess. If I were to throw a genre out there, I mean, that thriller is probably the best genre for a Lovecraftian type movie because that's kind of the theme there. I guess horror to a certain extent, but you know, thriller horror, that would probably be good enough. All right, in any case, let's go ahead and take a look at our mech warriors. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to do that 3 skull battle, but I think we might as well, at least to tempt it. I mean, we could always withdraw. It's a local government, so there's not going to be any consequences for withdrawing because you can't ever improve the reputation. Yeah. Well, I don't really expect that of him. I don't expect him to be crazy freak out, like, as I said. You know, it is what it is. But he is getting old, for sure. Alright, well, in any case, yeah, I definitely want the cold shot bonus, so we'll take that. We have a lot of points beside, but we can't afford anything, so we'll go with that.
Warrior training complete.
Good to go.
We will go with the A-team again, because it's going to be a hard mission. Okay, so that doesn't really help us. That doesn't really help us. So, and all else fails, you take the accuracy.
Training confirmed.
Okay. Legend.
Receiving you.
We can get that cold shot bonus right now if we want it. What does this do? Or max sprint, not really that. Yeah, I think we just go full on for the cold shot.
Training complete.
Okay. And Leo.
Good to go.
So to remove the indirect fire penalty, we don't have indirect weapons yet, but we will get them soon. Health. Figure we might as well just go with this anyway, because we're going to want to get this up eventually. Yeah, a lot of people like Con Air. I don't have strong opinions one way or the other on it. I think it's an okay movie. It's fine. It's definitely better than Face Off. Although I'm sure Face Off is a cult classic for some people. I don't know.
Mech Warrior training.
Is there anybody I missed? I did Brunswick, I did Legend, I did Leo. I think I did my own pilot. So that should do it. Although if you're looking for Nicolas Cage being silly, then Face Off, definitely watch it. Because you get a lot of Nicolas Cage silliness in that movie. Alright, I think our pilots are more or less ready. So I think we do that 3-skull battle mission in Tundra. I am going to wait 3 days or 2 days, I'm sorry, to give us our best mechs back. And we'll see if we can pull this one off. If it looks bad, we'll withdraw. And as I said, it's a local government hiring us. So if we have to withdraw, it's not that big of a deal. 1, 2.
Job's done.
Job done. All right. Although time is kind of precious at this moment, so I somewhat regret doing that, but oh well. I just want to double check in the store, make sure we can't buy like a dragon or something before we think about leaving. I don't think there was one here, but I figure we might as well check real quick. Okay, yeah, nothing really we can pick up here. Not sure if I've ever seen a 3-scholar. Yeah, well, you see it in a second. Okay, so yeah, all the missions, you can't see that right now. Let me back out. So all the missions have 1 to 5 skulls. Actually, they go in half-skull increments. So the most or least difficult is half skull. Most difficult is 5 skulls. I think that it may even go up higher than that. I'm not 100% on that, but yeah, that's pretty much how this goes. So this is like a little over middle of the road, but typically we're going to be seeing medium, possibly heavy mechs in this, but there'll be like lighter heavy mechs potentially. We'll see. All right, let's go ahead and negotiate. Here, salvage is going to be more important than the money, so we'll go with that. We still get paid 300,000+. So again, you guys can't see this because I'm in the way, but it's 331,800 C-bills and 3/12 for the salvage. Now, how that works is the 3, the first number, is how many of the salvage you get to personally pick, and then the 12 or the 9 remaining is 12 total, I think. The 9 remaining are going to be randomly given to you. So the first number is kind of important if it's good salvage, that you definitely want to grab that, but then you're still going to get some assurance like outside that. All right, let's go ahead and accept. Yeah, I'm gonna assume that's the mod or something that was responsible for that. I don't Although this game does have its issues. All right, so how similarly did I load these out? Because I'm not sure if I could tell the difference between these two. So you have 680 and you have 680. I think this one was the one we were using before, but they're probably loaded out very similarly. It might be a slight difference of armor, but otherwise they should have exactly the same equipment. Okay, so this is going to be what we use. So here's crossed on this one. Hopefully we don't all die. So because this is a skull above, let me go back here a second. Because this is a skull above in difficulty, above what our drop weight is. And you guys, again, you can't see this, but it assigns your drop weight a value 1 to 5, and it's assigned us 2. So because we're at 2 and it's at 3, it's going to warn me that this might be too difficult for us. Yeah, exactly. It's always, you know, it's a mod, and that mod has a lot of stuff in it. So, all right. In any case, let's go ahead and deploy again. As I said he's going to warn us, but it will be fine. If it looks bad, we can retreat. What would probably make this mission bad is if there's reinforcements. If it's reinforcements, I'm gonna try and maybe get a kill or 2, but then I'm probably just gonna withdraw. Means we won't get paid, but at least we're not gonna lose a pilot or a mech. So It'll be fine. We'll be fine. It's fine. All right, here we go.
Initiated.
We're in the area where the hostile mech was sighted. Move up and try and flush it out. Let's see what sort of trap this is. So this almost sounds like an assassinate mission, but it isn't. There, Alert Commander, Olivia, out.
The snow reminds
Now, one thing that makes me want to stick with this mission a little bit more and try is it's in Tundra. So this is going to be not taxing us like that other mission where we were in the desert and it was just hard to actually use our mechs because of just overheating constantly. All right, I need to move towards the woods to get best advantage, so I'm going to do so. But I'd prefer to be in this or this. So we're going to try 4.
Firing jump jet.
With these 2 pilots. Well, it's because I designed my mechs to be like on the line as far as, well, I designed them to not be all that heat efficient, like, because I try and push like how much damage I can do and what have you. So I do kind of push the line there with that heat, whereas their mechs may not. So in that regard, we may have an advantage. Okay, I'm going to use the fire starter to get vision here. So I'm going to sprint it pretty aggressively out.
Got it.
Now, the reason why I did that is because before we were in non-combat phase. Now we're in the combat phase. Ooh, that's a vehicle. Okay. Well, we're reserve. So they have no light mechs, but they do have medium mechs. We don't see them, but we know that they have them. All right, we're in the right position. We'll keep going here. I say mechs, it could be vehicles. We don't know whatever this is. I assume it's a striker. We don't know if this will get vision on me, so again, we're going to hold. If it does get vision on me, it might be rough if they have a lot of heavy things. But it moved kind of off to the side, so... and that was the only heavy contact that we know of. So unless they have assault mechs, we're going to be fine. Okay. And I'll jump in aggressively here.
Confirmed.
It is a Shrek PPC carrier. Okay, good to know. I'll go ahead and just brace. I'm not close enough to get an attack off, but... Now the problem we're going to have... Not very many of my mechs will be able to attack. Okay, so only my ER medium laser is going to get accuracy here. Go ahead and do this move. Might as well fire something at the enemy. With this mech, when we jump, we do extra damage, so we're going to get a 20% buff. This guy doesn't have full armor. I don't think this is going to kill him, but we'll give it a shot.
Commander.
Legend is unlikely to get a shot because of the range of her weapons, so I'm going to go ahead and just sprint down the hill here. Get her closer. It seems pretty clear to me that the enemy is fairly far away. I can get both of my long-range attacks off here. Question is, how aggressively can I move? Because pretty much I'm in the same position here. I need to get closer.
Jumping. Heads up, Commander. You've got hostile contacts
Ah.
inbound.
Okay, now we know where they are. That's somewhat unfortunate positioning, but it is what it is.
Engaging target.
I don't think we're getting the kill here, but you never know. More than likely, Brunswick will be able to finish it.
Commander.
Can't get a melee attack off, but we don't need a melee attack. We just need to come in and hit that same side. It's already taken a lot of damage.
Roger.
We kill this, they don't have vision, so it does suit me very nicely.
Locking in. All
That's a dead vehicle. There's no way it survived that.
and stay down.
Here comes their stuff. Now, if we're lucky... Now, 40 tons. That could be a couple different things at this point. Before, I could say, without a shadow of a doubt, that's a cicada. But now I don't know. Because assassins are 40 tons. So it could be an assassin. I don't know. But it's one of those two. So, not really sure the best move here. Probably just reserve. The Enforcer's kind of out in the open. But they might not be able to get vision.
Waiting for my opening.
Although I kind of doubt that. A lot of it depends on whether this mech goes first or not. Because if, yeah, see, that's what we were looking for. If they all went before it went, it's a cicada. And we got lucky there. Okay. So that should be all the enemy.
Orders.
We definitely need to get... That's perfect. Probably not the right order of operations here, though. I want to jump here.
Engaging jump jets.
Can we get off more than one of these? Would be interesting if the AI weighted the mech build according to the climate. More heat efficient for desert. Yeah, okay. Is this similar to XCOM in the way that the enemies trigger first when you see them or reach a certain point? No. No, that is not how this one works. Pretty much until you encounter the enemy, you're in the non-combat phase. As soon as you encounter the enemy, and when I say encounter them, you get them within sensor range. Now, what is sensor range? There's going to be a blue halo. You see it right there. Around your mech at a certain radius. You have to get the enemy within that, and you'll get sensor contacts. Sensor contacts are the red. So I know there's a mech here, and I have information on them too. This is based off of your tactics skill. If you don't have good enough tactics skill, you won't get any information here, but I can get what tonnage they are, and I can make some guesses based off of that of what mech they are. And also, I can tell if it's a vehicle or what have you. But earlier, you saw that had a different silhouette when it was a vehicle. But when you get into the actual combat phase, then you just go into normal combat, and you go off of the initiative scale that's up at the top here. So 5 is the highest, 1 is the lowest, and what initiative you go at is based off of the weight of the mech or vehicle that you have. There are some things that can modify that, but for the most case, that is true. They'll move around, so we take turns back and forth, and they're already on the map. And they will move during the non-combat phase, although I've found oftentimes nowadays that the AI usually just sits and waits for you to get them into contact. But yeah, they're somewhere on the map, you know, depending on the mission parameters. Some enemies will spawn in as the mission goes on, but for the most part, if you have enemies like in this battle mission, all of the enemies that are going to be in this battle were on the map from the start, and they were actually somewhere on the map. Right, I'm going to go ahead and go with the precision strike, because I think I can get more than one precision strike here. Maybe we can get more effectiveness with our attacks.
Engaging target.
Well, most of that hit. Alright, so now we can make the move with Legend.
Commander.
And she's just going to poke down the evasion.
Jump jets engaged.
So as far as the evasion goes, you see these little chevrons here. The further you move, the more evasion you have. Every time you attack somebody that has evasion, it burns one evasion away. So by me attacking, one of his evasion will be burned down, and then that will make him increasingly easier to hit. So before, when I was looking at the probabilities to hit, my chance to hit with this attack was 55%. Because I burned one evasion away, it's actually gotten better to 60%. And you can see exactly where all the percentages come from. So when I go to attack, if I hover over my attack, now you're not going to see a lot of this stuff because of where I am, but I'm just going to read it down for you. So there's a bunch of things that are modifiers. So you've got arm mounted, so the weapons in the arm gives you a minus bonus. Minus bonuses are good. You have height differential because I am higher terrain-wise than my opponent. I get a easier time of hitting him. Now my negative modifiers, I have, so that was -3, so total -4. So my bad negative modifiers, we have a +4 from long range because this is the extent of the range of the weapon I'm attacking with. The target has moved, so that's the evasion charges. So 2 for each time they 2 per each evasion charge, so a total of 6 there. And then the target size, so based off of how big of a mech it is, makes it easier or harder to hit. So there's a +1 there. So all things going here, the modifier for me to hit is +7, and then that's where you get your percentage. And that's based off of your pilot's gunnery skill and other things. So they give you a breakdown of where all that stuff's coming from. So anyway, let's go ahead and fire here.
Copy that.
And with this particular attack, there's a number of attacks that it's one weapon, but it hits or it attacks multiple times. So that one PPC shot had 5 projectiles. I think it's 5. Could be 6. But each of those projectiles rolled separately. Now they don't burn the evasion anymore. It's per attack, not per weapon fired.
Standing by.
But the important thing there is you get multiple attacks, so it's not all or nothing. You know, you get multiple. So some of them may miss, some of them may hit. Whereas if all of the damage was in one attack, if it had missed, none of the damage applies. So there's both bonuses, and there's a lot of detail to this game that's kind of it gets complicated to explain, but
Confirmed.
you learn it eventually. I think we could do a precision strike here, but I think we just go with the normal attack. This isn't that bad of an attack. This guy's pretty beat up. He might die.
Affirmative.
Oh, he got his arm. Man, he's dead. So there's one mech down. We just have 3 more to go. Now, that was the easiest mech out of the bunch that we were facing. Well, this is based off of a tabletop game, and although there is definitely differences between the tabletop game, in this game, a lot of it is still based in what the tabletop game is. So, I mean, as a result, it does have quite a bit of complexity. All right, let's go ahead and reserve. Let them come in. They can't see me yet. They don't have line of sight. We know they don't have line of sight because we can't see them. There's just red blips. So, through that, if they can't see me, they can't attack me. This is one of the things that takes a while to learn in this game. Now, there are ways to acquire line of sight, but one of them is just move up and attack. Okay. What do we have here? Shadowhawk, okay. And a trebuchet. That's the most threatening of the mechs that are facing me right now, because it can do a lot of damage. So just like my attack, all of those missiles they hit independently of each other. They roll for hitting independently of each other. Yeah, you're right. EU4 is based off of a board game. Okay, I think Brunswick is fairly far away, so we can use one of his abilities.
For orders.
Let's, we need to be within sensor range to do it. I definitely want to lock up the trebuchet because it's the most dangerous thing that we don't know what this is.
Lifting off.
But it's 55 tons, so that does limit what it could be.
Sensors locked on.
All right, so I just sensor locked him. That's an ability you get from your pilots as you level them up. It's an ability you acquire for your pilots. What that did, it burned 2 of his evasion away, which he only had 2, so it burned all of his evasion away. But also, it will give you vision when you don't have vision normally. So if I had sensor locked this guy back here, I could acquire vision of him even though he's outside of my vision range. So that's one of the things that's pretty good about that ability. Fairly useful ability. So we're just going to go after the trebuchet. It's out in the open. Fairly exposed. It has no evasion, so it'll be easy to hit. We're just going to lay into him. He only has half armor, which is something that happens sometimes with the mission parameters there. Let's go with Leo here. So Leo's just going to open up on this guy. Just need a PC game based on the new board game. That's funny. All right, ooh, this is almost dead. All right, let's open up here. Hitting the leg a bunch. That actually may result in, yeah, there goes the leg. All right, that gives us an opportunity. So what I'm going to do here with the Phoenix Hawk is we're going to jump in fairly aggressively. This will give us vision of whatever that guy is, so we get to know what it is. Running pretty hot, but I still think I'm going to be able to get a good attack off here.
Engaging jump jets.
And then we were going to use Vigilance. Vigilance will give me a bonus to my initiative, so I'll act earlier than I normally would, but it also counts as being guarded, which gives you some damage reduction. Primarily what I'm looking there for is the... Ooh, alright, we're going to have to turn one of our medium lasers off. Or... Yeah, we'll turn off a medium laser, that'll do. Let's go after the left... Well, what's in the left torso? I'm gonna go after the right torso. That's a better call. We can go after the leg and try for the kill. Hold on. Let's go after the leg, try for the kill. This is kind of ambitious, but...
Engaging target.
Yeah, we hit everywhere. Oh well.
Enemy mech. Critical damage
No retreat.
detected.
Yeah. I've never played that board game, so... I used to play Planets of the Twilight Imperium regularly a few years ago, a board game with 10 plus hours of game time. Yeah, I've seen it played, but I've never actually played it myself. But I've heard stories that it is a fairly complex game. All right, so because I have Ace Pilot, I can attack and move. Unfortunately, I'm not in a very good position based off of how much heat I have. I'm not really sure how much I'm going to be able to do with that. Probably I'll just reserve here because I'm not in a bad position defensively. So yeah. Okay. Shadowhawk's gonna get in here and attack the Vindicator. That's fine. Vindicator has 40% damage reduction. And Shadowhawks, the standard Shadowhawks really... Although this is not the standard Shadowhawk, this is the one that's up damage, which means it has very much reduced armor, so it's a pretty easy kill. If we ever get around to killing it. Yeah, I think we go... That turns out... Oh! Another Shadowhawk 2D, so this is probably going to be easy to wrap up. These guys will go down real fast. The only thing that will keep them up is kind of like that they're just heavier mechs anyway, but... I'm going to try for the kill on the Trebuchet. It probably will go down after this. We'll go after the other leg again. So it died. The reason it died is because we took out both of its legs. Both legs gone, a mech is dead. There's multiple ways to kill a mech, but there's three main ones. Destroy the head. You destroy center torso. That's the most common way to kill a mech. Or kill both of its legs. You can also disable a mech by killing its pilot, which honestly the cockpit does the same thing because that pilot's going to go down if you blow up the cockpit. But yeah, that's pretty much your ways.
Receiving you.
All right. Move in here and just open up on the Shadowhawk that doesn't have a lot of evasion here.
I copy. On it.
We get more salvage by taking it out that way. Center torso kill on a mech, you get the least salvage. Both legs, you get a little bit more salvage, and then taking out the pilot or the head of the mech is going to get you the most salvage. Because more or less you're taking the mech more intact. Okay.
Orders.
Not sure if Brunswick can get in range. Sure can't. What he can do is he can help me with the sensor lock stuff.
Firing jump jet.
So I'm going to go ahead and sensor lock this guy. The Phoenix Hawk does need to jump unless I just stay put. I will jump. I'll jump in. I want to actually stay on this side. Like so. And then we'll use Vigilance for the initiative buff again. Just open up on this guy. Probably not going to be able to forward much here because of the heat. But that'll do. Now, the reason I attack the side rather than the rear is because I've already been beating on this side. And if I keep focusing on the same side, I won't hit the opposite side. So I'm focusing the damage really nicely here. And note that he only has 5 health in that center torso now. So a stiff breeze will kill him. Matter of fact, let's just kill him now. I actually don't know the right call here. I could melee this guy in the rear. Yeah, let's just go with this. So let's get as much damage out as we can. That will do it. He's gonna die. I mean, this is way overkill. As a matter of fact, I definitely think it's overkill. Let's back that off. You're gonna be A, you're gonna be B, and B is gonna be the small lasers. Small lasers probably get the job done. I might get unlucky and it doesn't kill him, but hey, you know, it's worth a gamble.
Engaging multiple targets.
Okay. Small lasers do the job. Come on. Do it. Yay, did it.
Enemy mech destroyed.
Well, that was a center torso kill, so I'm not going to get any better salvage than that. Okay, just move away because of the ace pilot. I'm hoping Brunswick can come in here, get a rear attack. Yes, indeed. Full bore rear attack here. We'll go with precision strike, and we'll just go straight center torso here and try and kill him immediately.
Copy that.
That was pretty focused damage. Not enough, though. Alright, so it's going to be the job of my other mechs to finish him. Now, he should be really hurting after that. Yeah, only 5 health in his center torso, so this is probably not going to last long.
Yes, Commander.
Can I get in behind him? Because if I get in behind him, that's actually more effective. That is a negative. Well, I tried. That's going to be the best range we can get with our weapons. Oh, a lot of missing there, unfortunately. Well, there goes the arm.
Reporting critical hit.
Alright.
Yes, Commander.
If I could have gotten in behind him, he'd be dead right now. Alright, just keep attacking that same side. That will probably take him out. Because he has very little armor. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of armor in that center torso section, and he has very little health, so this will probably be enough damage.
All weapons, go.
Oh, that sure looked like it missed a lot. It didn't actually kill him.
That's going to hurt.
Knock him down, though. Doesn't mean that the Shadowhawk will be able to counterattack, though. And it can do a lot of damage with a melee attack. Which is pretty threatening. Oh no, not a medium laser.
Damage minimal.
Okay, buddy, you're asking for it. I'm gonna have to come in here, take you out. This is gonna be way overkill, but we're gonna do it nonetheless. The melee attack will probably just kill him, but we're gonna, you know, hit him a little bit with the small lasers for good measure. Take that.
Hot damn. Let's do this. Target neutral.
All targets down, Commander. Good shooting.
Mission successful.
That's what he should have done to me. He should have punched me. Does it make it more likely to hit the torso from the left if the left arm is destroyed? Yeah, so there's a damage transfer system. I'll explain that here in a second. I mean, we're over time, but I'll explain. I mean, I'm not going to do any more missions here, but I always like to explain like how these games work and stuff, because this has a lot of learning curve to it. But it's not that hard to explain. So I already got like a kind of a... I'm losing the word here. A diagram. We'll use that word, even though that's not the word I'm looking for, of what a mech looks like. Okay, so these are all the locations, all these little spots here, and I can even highlight each one, right? So you have both arms, left, right, your legs, center torso, left, right, torso, head. So this game uses a system of damage transfer. So pretty much it will always go in towards the center torso. All damage transfer will eventually end up in the center torso. So the way that this works is if the left or right torso is destroyed, the arm goes with it. So you can, if you can focus that damage, you don't have to blow up the arm independently. They will both go together. So by focusing on the same side, with the way damage transfer works, is the probability of hitting a set location is based off of what direction you're attacking them from. So if you hit them straight on, and you can see which way you're doing it because there's a quadrant on the ground around the mech that you're targeting. So the frontal quadrant is going to be, the front facing. And in that case, the probability of hitting the left or right torso is going to be equal. It's going to be equivalent. Now, different body parts have different likelihoods of being hit. Some things will be more likely than others. Like the center torso is usually more likely going to be hit if you're attacking front on. But because there's so many different things you can hit in the center torso, it sometimes can be hard to focus the damage because it can go all over the place. If you attack from a particular side, then the probability that you hit something on that side is very high, whereas hitting on the opposite side is almost non-existent. So as a result, you're going to hit, if I attack on this side of the mech, I'm going to hit the arm, that side torso, or the leg. Those are the most likely things that I'm going to hit. So because of the damage transfer rules, if I can take out that side's torso, that damage will transfer into the center torso, because the damage transfer will go arm, the same side torso section, into the center torso, and then leg will go up into the center torso too. So if I can knock out these parts, after that point, every damage that should be hitting that side's torso will hit the center torso instead. So I have ramped up the chance that I can hit that center torso more or less. That's kind of how that works. And if you hit the rear, you're going to be hitting the rear section, which is this bit over here. Generally speaking, the rear section is going to be less armored than the front section. There's two different armor values. So rear armor is usually, I would say, pretty much 99% of the time. I mean, you could design a mech to be more armored in the rear if you want to, but that would be crazy. But if you did it, you could. But yeah, generally speaking, the armor in the rear is going to be a lot lighter. So there's definitely an advantage in hitting the rear, but you're going to be hitting the same internal structure. So when I'm hovering over this thing, you see a white bar and an orange bar. The white bar is the armor in that location. The orange bar is the internal structure in that location. Armor gets hit first, then internal structure. Internal structure is usually, once that starts getting hit, that's where you're going to start having to repair a mech, but it also is going to start giving you crits to those locations. So the damage is going to be more severe once it's hitting your internal structure. Once your internal structure is gone, that part is destroyed. So that's kind of how it works. So if you hit somebody in the rear, it's the same internal structure as in the front. So here, this is the front center torso. It's 70 internal structure. It's 70 internal structure in the rear. So you're hitting that same internal structure. Just the armor is the difference. All right, that's pretty much that. So let's go ahead and move on. Okay, so unfortunately, all the salvage here, I'm just seeing if there's any special systems. All the salvage here is, I don't know if I want another trebuchet. It's not a bad mech. I think I'd rather take the Shadowhawk here, because we could get 2 parts towards the Shadowhawk. Now this is, I think, the better of the 2 variants of the Shadowhawk out there. So that's not bad. I don't really have any systems here that are worth picking up that I see. So I'll just take the trebuchet, because why not? All right, there we go. Oh, okay, we'll do that here in a second. Yeah, I definitely do need to do that. Thank you for reminding me, JRB. Because I did some modifications, and I'd like to see if it works. So there we go. There's a salvage. So we did end up getting the other trebuchet part, so that's really nice. And then we got this special LM5, which is good, I guess, but it doesn't really, probably not going to use it much. All right. So that's going to wrap it up for the stream here. But yeah, the tabletop game works the same way with the damage transfer. So that's straight from the tabletop game. The difference, though, with the tabletop game, there's a chance of doing crits even if the armor's still up. But it's very low chance, but it is a chance. Also, ammo explosion's a lot more lethal in the tabletop game, at least with this eras of technology. So